Last minute.
Yep, we're working on the mic.
You're on now? There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get started in a minute or two once the registrars come walking in and sit down, and then we'll have all the people ready to vote.
Hi. Nothing?
Thank you.
How's that? Do you know who's going to be the moderator? Is it going to be Norm? We can't talk at all. This thing is like. Oh, okay. No coffee.
So you can't tell me.
We're okay. I'll have to tell you now. Only that might slide for audience members. This one's not.
Okay. All right. Norm, only that mic is working, right? So,
This one's not?
no, for audience. They wanted us to wait for them. They wanted us to wait for them to come in.
They said that, but I think you can get started. Just get started. She said they're going to come sit in front row, then we can start. See, they're still got to let people in.
Yeah.
They're again telling me to start.
Yeah.
The door should close at 7.
Here comes Heather. We all set, Heather? All set? Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming for this unique district meeting. We usually have only these once a year before the budget, but this is a special occasion, and we thank you all for coming here tonight. We would like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand up and follow me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Secretary of the Board will read the call of the meeting and the return.
Good evening. The call of the meeting is as follows. Regional School District 13, warning of special district meeting Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. The electors and citizens qualified to vote in town meetings of the towns of Durham and Middlefield, Connecticut, are hereby warned and notified that a special district meeting will be held at Coginchaug Regional High School Auditorium, 135 Pickett Lane, Durham, Connecticut, on Wednesday, December 1st, 2021 at 7 p.m. for the following purpose. Item 1, to choose a moderator for said meeting. Item 2, to approve the conveyance to the town of Durham of a portion of the district property measuring approximately 7.24 acres on which is located the building commonly known as the Francis E. Corn Elementary School, the Corn School property. To approve the memorandum of understanding between Regional School District 13 and the town of Durham for the conveyance of the Corn School property, the memorandum of understanding, and to authorize the superintendent and the chairperson of the Board of Education of Regional School District 13 to take all actions necessary or convenient to complete the conveyance of the Corn School property to the town of Durham, including the execution of a purchase and sale agreement or similar agreement. A copy of the memorandum of understanding between Regional School District 13 and the town of Durham is on file and available for inspection at the district's offices located at 135A Pickett Lane, Durham, Connecticut, and on the district's website at www.rsd13ct.org, dated at Durham, Connecticut, this 18th day of November, 2021. Regional School District 13, Board of Education, signed Robert Moore, Chairman. The return of the call. Return is hereby made at the undersigned on the 22nd day of November 2021. Cause to be posted on the public signposts in the towns of Durham and Middlefield, a written warning by the Board of Education, and on the 22nd day of November 2021, cause to be published in the Hartford Courant, a newspaper having a circulation in the towns of Durham and Middlefield, a like warning of the district meeting on the sale of the Corn School property to be held the first day of December 2021. Robert Moore, Chairman, Regional School District 13, Board of Education.
Thank you, Norm. The next item is to elect a moderator. We have a motion to nominate a moderator of the meeting.
Nominate Norm Hicks.
Is there a second? Second by Rick. Any other nominations? Move that they be closed and it's a unanimous vote for Norm Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, townspeople, for the confidence you have entrusted in me tonight, and I hope we'll have a lively discussion on the vote to be taken. To be eligible to vote, you've already gone through the process with our political people, and as well as the grand list. You need to be a U.S. citizen, a Durham elector, or a property owner with at least $1,000 assessment on the last completed grand list. Property owners may only vote on items involving expenditures of money. Since that is the case this evening, then they will be able to vote that their property rights. Are there persons in the audience tonight that are not eligible to vote by either of those two methods? Would you please self-declare by raising your hand? I see one person. It is
A couple children.
okay. I see one person. It is Peter Marr, our attorney. So that seems to be the only person that is ineligible to vote tonight. Discussion amongst audience members may be disruptive to others. Please speak only when given the floor by the moderator. I would ask that you come to the microphone to speak and say your name clearly. The clerk is not here tonight. The clerk will receive a written tape recorded or a voice recorded synopsis of the meeting, and we'll take the minutes from there. So please bear with us on that. Would be very helpful. And please identify yourself before speaking. So we shall move Right to item 2. Would you like me to read item 2 again? You know what? I will read it again, just for the record. Item 2 is to approve the conveyance to the town of Durham a portion of the district property measuring approximately 7.24 acres on which is located the building commonly known as the Francis C. Corrin Elementary School, the Corrin School property, to approve the memorandum of understanding between Regional School District 13 and the town of Durham for the conveyance of the Corrin School property, the memorandum of understanding, and to authorize the superintendent and the chairperson of the Board of Education of Regional School District 13 to take all necessary or actions necessary or convenient to complete the conveyance of the Corrin School property to the town of Durham, including the execution of a purchase and sale agreement or similar agreement. Is there a motion?
I'll make.
Would somebody? Motion made by Chairman Moore. Is there a second?
Second by Laura.
Laura Francis. I would ask at this time if Chairman Moore would like to speak to the motion. As he is a party, he can do so now.
Thank you, Norm. You can use this mic. This is a process that has begun October 2015, has led through a number of conditions and votes throughout the remaining, ultimately 6 years that have gone on for this process. Subsequent to the referendum authorizing the town to purchase this, a number of meetings took place with our attorney and the town's attorney, with the board of selectmen, entering in, actually developing this memorandum of understanding for this land transfer. And this has gone on for several months. The map behind me shows the outline of the property. We have the town engineer here to explain the property and also the easements that are located on it. And hopefully we can go through this. The MOU is about 10 pages long. It's a legal document transferring land. The complexity of this is because of all the insurances and requirements necessary to move a subsequent parcel of land and building to the town from the district. So this is basically a really brief thing. Our actions tonight are to basically authorize the chairman and the superintendent to sign this MOU and then move on to the final agreement, which will be the final land transfer sometime in the next few weeks. So that's basically what we're here for tonight. And I think that's probably the quickest summary I can, but there's a lot of detail in the MOU on how it's going to get, how the transfer works, what properties go with, what easements are provided, and several details in the MOU and in the appendixes. I ask our attorney if he has anything else to add. State your name, Peter. Is that one on?
He's telling me it's up.
It's on now. Peter, try it now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pete Marr. I'm the attorney for the Region School District 13. And as Chairman Moore mentioned, essentially the call here is to authorize, the district authorizing the superintendent and board chair to execute this memorandum of understanding, which has already been negotiated, the essential terms between the district and the town of Durham to come to a common understanding of the intentions of that transfer. And so the next step, should that MOU be approved, would be for the town and the district to continue to finalize a purchase and sales agreement, which in the MOU is referred to as the definitive agreement, and that sets forth a little bit more specificity of the final terms. But everything flows from this MOU in terms of the time periods and the easements. Part of the MOU talks about the use of the continued use of Region 13 for certain purposes, for parking lots, for activities and games and things like that. But there are some finalizations for some technical things like placements of easements for utilities and just the things that you might do on a normal property conveyance. With the execution of the MOU, if that is authorized, stems the following period of 30 days to finalize that purchase and sales agreement. And then the town also has a period to seek certain approvals and do inspections. And assuming all that goes according to plan, and then the parties would complete that conveyance and the transfer would be complete. Okay, so I'm certainly happy to try to answer any specific questions you might have, but that's essentially the summary of what got us to this point right now, and should the question be approved, then what the next steps would be. Okay? I don't know if any, Chairman Moore, any other questions?
Unless, Brian, do you want to just describe the property quickly?
Good evening, Brian Curtis, Town Engineer for Durham. The Corn School property outline is basically as follows. It's somewhat of a common sense type thing. We met with officials from the school district and also the town of Durham to determine what would make most sense to create a property boundary between the Corn School parcel and the balance of the RSD13 land. Currently, the northerly property boundary is unchanged on the land transfer plan. That's the same property line. And the vertical property line to the west, which is to the left, that's an existing property line between the school and the town. The changes that it is proposed is to basically follow the outline of the athletic fields so that they remain the RSD13 athletic fields. So the ball fields and the dugouts remain on the school district property. And the Corn School building, driveway, the main parking lot, and the playground become part of the town of Durham parcel. And then along Pickett Lane, there would be a property boundary created, basically following Pickett Lane from south to north, and it would exclude the culvert that's currently being replaced next year by the school district. As was mentioned by the attorney, there will be a number of easements that go along with the boundary map, namely up in the culvert area as part of the utility projects that's been going on the past couple of years. There's a gas line and a water line that extend from Maiden Lane down Pickett Lane, and then they go around the brook, into the brook underneath it, around the culvert, and then back onto Pickett Lane. So things of that nature would be included in an easement in favor of the utility companies on the town parcel. There's also other utility lines back and forth between the regional high school and Corn School, and some of those would remain as permanent easements and some would just be temporary easements until the final water connections can be made from the utilities in the street. So that in the 7.24 acres is being included with the parcel, as I just described. And like I said, it basically keeps the athletic facilities on the school property, and the playground and parking lot and the Corn School building would be part of the town property with their associated utilities. If there's any questions, I'll try and answer them.
Thank you. Norm? All set.
Okay, thank you, speakers. At this time, we'll open it up for public discussion, public questions. Again, I ask you to step up to the microphone, say your name clearly so our clerk, who's I think probably in a different zip code right now, but will have a chance to transcribe it correctly. So it's now open for debate. Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak. First of all, I can't see you. And number one, you're wearing masks. I can't identify you either, so please bear with me. Anyone like to speak to the motion? Yes, right over here.
Carl Stout, Durham. The mailer that was mailed out by the board is rather deceiving, misleading, the last paragraph. They talk about save taxpayers of Durham and Middlefield the expenses associated with maintaining and or demolishing the Corn building. There is going to be a saving to Middlefield. There's going to be saving to the Board of Ed, but all it does is just change line items as far as the town of Durham. The town of Durham is going to end up with a significant increase in their budget when they take on this building. And this is misleading here. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Anyone else like to speak? Someone's coming down the aisle?
Hi, my name's Eileen Buckite, resident of Durham. Thank you for your presentation. And just here to say I'm glad we're here at the end of what's been a long process here for the town of Durham. As we all know, this was approved by large numbers here for the referendum that we had a few months ago. So this is not, we are not here to rehash that situation that we already went through. We are here to approve the MOU. And if anybody has a problem with the MOU and the terms of the MOU and what we were shown here today by the attorney and the engineer about the boundary lines, that's what we're here today to talk about. So we're not here to rehash the situation with the budget, with what the Board of Finance already approved, which was $1 million to go to the first phase of the redevelopment of this community center. We're not here to rehash what that means for the town of Durham, which is a new community center for our youth and our seniors. We're not here to rehash what that means for the town of Durham as far as keeping our campus here as one for the town of Durham, with the schools and the town working together. As we know, Laura has worked very hard with the Board of Education to come up with a plan that we're all here to support. So I'm hoping that everyone tonight can understand what we're here for tonight and what we've already accomplished here in the town of Durham, in Middlefield, obviously, that is here as part of the district. We're here to take the next step forward, not to rehash what the voters have already approved for the town of Durham. So I hope that everybody will join me tonight to take the next step forward and not rehash what has already happened here in the town of Durham, and that we're here to take the next step forward into 2022 and the next step in developing the community center. So please join me in moving the town forward. Please do not look back. Please look forward. I implore you to make the correct vote tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Over here.
Can you hear me okay? Yep. My name is Lainey Melvin. I represent the senior board in town, but I would like to say that over the past 3 decades, we have been looking for the opportunity to have a community center. Started out that we thought we wanted a senior center, but it didn't make sense. So we have looked at property everywhere. It's been voted down many times because it was too far. We're never going to have a better location than this particular location right now. It's going to cost money either way. I hope that you will vote for it. I think it would be a great opportunity for the future of Durham, for their young people and their elderly, and to go together as a community, looking forward for what is better for the future. So I ask you to support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? In the back.
Hello, I'm Clay Howe of Durham. I agree, we shouldn't hash over a decision that's already been made. However, if I'm not mistaken, if people turn down the vote this evening, it's dead in the water. That I don't know if we start by some other method. And this particular method, at this particular time, I think has serious problems. I am one with prior conditions. Outside, they said, mass requested. I have a number of conditions, and as we know, there is a new variant of the COVID-19 virus that is going around the world in Europe. Their conditions are worse. There are plenty of people of my age, and even some younger with other conditions, who may have decided not to show up for that reason. There is no possibility, if I'm to understand, of voting by absentee ballot. You have to be here, and you have to put your health at risk to a certain extent by being here. So let's not rehash a decision made. Let's vote yes. But I think that the way this is done has serious problems accompanying it. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Is there further discussion or questions? Right here.
Hello, my name is Jen Huddleston. I am a resident of Middlefield. I am the founder of the Giving Garden, which is located in the lawn area behind the Middlefield Community Center. Before we decided on Middlefield, we looked at the lawn area behind Corn Elementary School, and we deemed it to be a perfect location for a community garden. Now, you may or may not know that our Giving Garden calls on all volunteers to come together and work to use organic gardening principles to grow fresh organic food, and we distribute it, 100% of it, to area senior centers and soup kitchens. And I think the volunteers are getting more out of working in the garden than the recipients of the food are getting, quite honestly. And we love the location at Corn School because we have electricity there, it's easy to hook up irrigation, we have easy tool storage, and we have seniors and possibly a link to high school participation there at that area. And not to mention all the sports fields are right there, so people could have their kids playing ball games or whatever, and then they could come over and participate in the garden. It's just a wonderful opportunity to bring the community together. So I just wanted to, throw that out there so that you are all aware of this as a possibility. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question, right here. Can't see you, but you'll tell me in a minute.
Question? I can't tell, is it the dotted line or the straight line for the boundary? And does it include the woods or not include the woods?
Brian, would you care to respond?
Engineers have those.
I think so.
The dashed line is the current boundary line between the school district property and the town of Durham property. With the conveyance, that line will go away. That's why it's shown as a dashed line with the Z's through it. That would be contiguous with the existing town of Durham property to the west or to the left. And then the new southerly property boundary around Corn School basically outlines around the athletic fields and the playground and the parking lot over to Pickett Lane. Does that answer your question? The dash.
The zigzag thing is the woods then? and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
included in it.
The woods line is shown as the curved line all the way to the north and west. And that would be part of the town of Durham parcel with Corn School. Yep.
Okay, so the reason I asked that question is because the potential at Corn is so great for multi-generational opportunities for learning. And one of the ideas I'm hoping to make a reality is to have a nature center there. A nature center that could not just serve children, but adults, because we have so many things that we can learn about our environment. So I'm hoping that people see the potential of that building and keep it alive through its use. Thank you.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Susan Michael.
Thank you. Is there another speaker? Another? Yes, right here. Oh, now I know who you are.
Hi, everybody. I am Sherry Hill. I am the Durham Recreation Director, and our community, Durham, we're looking forward to this great opportunity. So I think everything looks wonderful. The school looks wonderful. We don't want to go back and rehash everything. Durham already voted. So I say, let's get on with the vote and let's move on to our next step.
Did she just call the question?
Is there another speaker?
Yeah.
Rick?
My name is Rick Parmley. I'm an American citizen, proud of it, and a resident of Durham. I was never in favor of closing Corn School. I did not support the idea of demolishing Corn School. I didn't like the way we seemed to be put under the gun about moving on this issue. The board did vote to demolish the school. However, they don't have the money. They have to come before the regional system to get the funds to knock the thing down. And it would be a terrible waste. This is not a good deal for Durham. We should go back to the table. I can't see why we had to deed them rights to parking at the schools. People would probably park there anyway. It's town property. Nobody secured anything for Durham out of this deal. We have, by charter, we have an annual town meeting, we have a budget hearing and a budget meeting, and we usually have it at Coginchaug, and we have to come and ask. You'd think we would have got that put in the deed. Why would you even put in a furnace? They absolved themselves of everything, and we got nothing. I was here in this room when we approved the funding to remove asbestos in the schools when that program was initiated many years ago. They never got it all out. You'd think the school would pick up the tab for asbestos if we have to take it out. I don't know how the size of this parcel was determined, but last I knew, P&Z was never consulted, and they really have a say about not only the size of the parcel, but what we could do with it. We never approached P&Z at different times when this issue came up about what could be done. It's not a good deal. I'm not supporting this. And the map, yeah, there's maps in the town hall that have even details of the infrastructure and the drainage, et cetera. It looks to me like we inherited the whole damn brook. That could be a liability. You'd think we would have, if they wanted to take the furnace and put it in the deed that, you know, they're not responsible for the furnace or any expenses, why didn't the town of Durham put in, you pick up the tab for the bridge the next time it goes at the west end? I don't know why we picked up the tab for it in the first place. So, it's, and the cost of demolition was $900,000 to $1 million according to their numbers. At one point years ago, it was $30,000 a year to keep the building open, even though they weren't using it. You know, there's some real savings here for the district. I don't see that the town of Durham gains a lot by the proposition that they signed here. This is a terrible deal. Terrible. I'm not supporting it.
Thank you, Rick. Further discussion? Is there further discussion? Right here, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Min Ludek in the flesh. Let's see, I've been in trouble on Facebook lately. Forgive me. First of all, I didn't really prepare a speech for this, but I here sort of to, because I've spoken to a lot of citizens in town, a lot of people that unfortunately don't attend meetings, and I've been guilty myself on that. All right, but my feeling is, and I'll speak for a lot of the people that I've spoke with, we feel that this venture, by voting in by less than the majority of town, is just way too expensive for a budget. And let me tell you how I am not against a community center. I'm not. But I'm thinking in these times that this is not the right time to do this, and I think that you're strapping those of us who are at retirement age, who are shell-shocked at the incredible increase in property taxes, just online itself for those in Middlefield who just got their reassessment. It's just crazy. And I'm not really sure how much money this project is going to add to our taxes. And a lot of people have those concerns. A lot of people, like I've said, are not against some kind of community center for this town. I agree that we should have something for the amount of taxes that we paid, but I'm wondering if our timing is off here. And what is the big hurry to wait and see what happens? I mean, look at what we've seen. I'm a state employee, a fiscal employee for 35 years for the Department of Administrative Services, and I can tell you that I have seen financial figures that are shocking for my entire career. And the loss of people going out the door and being forced to leave their jobs, or else you're not going to get this, your pensions, your benefits, or whatever that you work for all of your life. But I have to say that this project, I'm feeling the timing is not right. And I have to say that the timing is not right. And not only that, with the reassessments, and if you read your figures on real estate and this, that, and the other thing, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures coming. There is going to be a lot of foreclosures coming. The real estate industry has known about this and everything. And Durham is not going to be any different. We're not exempt from these financial disasters that are happening. The other thing that concerned me is look at the football field. Look at the empty buildings that's never been completed. And now we have this big project going on, well, we can't finish what we've already started. So I understand that this project has already been voted in. I get it, you know. I did not like the margin that it was voted in, but the people, the few, have. And the other thing that I want to point out to you is that a lot of people in town do not understand the literature that was mailed out in the mail because it does not contain hard financial facts. It seems that a lot of these mailings do not include the reality of what it really is going to cost and what it means for the bottom line of the taxpayers. So that's what I want to say. That I think that yes, it is a project and that we need something, but I think that we should slow down and see what's going to happen in these perilous financial times. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Can you shout? I think I've heard that, but go right ahead. Motion made to call the question. Is there a second? Oh. You're all good. I counted every one of you. It requires a 2/3 vote, and let's try show of hands.
Yes.
All those in favor of moving the question, please raise your hand. I think that's pretty clear. We will go on to the vote. The motion is as follows. Unless there's objection, I will dispense with the reading of the motion. Is there objection? Did I hear objection? Then we'll go right to the vote. You have a blue slip of paper. It is...
Or pink.
What's that?
Or pink.
Oh, or pink. I didn't realize that. Blue or pink.
Is this
You
one
may
of those gender
vote
things?
yes if you approve of item 2. No if you are not approving of item 2. It is one vote per person. You can't hand in multiple slips. I've been asked by the registrars to announce that. So at this time, we need tellers. We have tellers chosen. The tellers will come and collect your votes, and we will recess until the voting is and the tally is completed. This evening, there are 183 votes cast. There's one abstention, which counts as a non-vote. I don't know how that got in, but I guess somebody handed in a blank slip. 183 voters, yes, 163, no, 20. As moderator, I declare that the motion has passed.
Motion to adjourn.
Having no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Bob Yamartino, seconded by many. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Lively discussion.